The grainy, flickering surveillance footage from Santa Barbara Municipal Airport does not capture a royal tour or a planned departure. It captures a scene of raw, unadulterated panic. The timestamp in the corner reads 3:14 a.m., a time when the rest of the elite enclave of Montecito is swaddled in expensive linens and silence. Suddenly, a black SUV tears into the private terminal's no-parking zone, its tires screeching against the asphalt as it jolts to a violent halt. This is not the measured, polished Prince Harry the world has come to know through high-definition Netflix specials and glossy book covers. When the passenger door flies open, the man who stumbles out is nearly unrecognizable. Clad in a wrinkled gray t-shirt and baggy sweatpants, with one sneaker trailing an untied lace, he looks like a man who has just escaped a burning building. He carries no designer luggage, no laptop bag, and notably, no security detail. In his shaking right hand, he grips a dark blue British passport as if it were a life raft. Witnesses on the tarmac, accustomed to the discreet arrivals of billionaires and celebrities, describe a moment of absolute desperation. One anonymous worker, later interviewed by investigators, noted that the man didn't look like a member of the House of Windsor. He looked like a man running for his life. Ignoring every safety protocol in the book, Harry sprinted toward a Cessna that was mid-refuel. He didn't wait for the pilot to lower the stairs or for the ground crew to clear the path. Instead, he began pounding frantically on the aircraft's pressurized hull, his voice hoarse as he screamed, "Go! Just go!" For the last 4 years, the global narrative has been obsessed with Harry's escape from the United Kingdom. But tonight, in the cold air of the California coast, the script has flipped entirely. He isn't fleeing the racist British press or the stuffy palace walls. He is making a terrifying, midnight escape from his own home. Back in Montecito, the sprawling mansion, once a symbol of freedom, is in a state of total lockdown. Every light in the house is blazing, casting long, jagged shadows across the manicured lawns as security teams patrol the perimeter with flashlights. Yet, the master bedroom is cold and empty. The silence of the night was shattered moments earlier when a source extremely close to the Duchess leaked a frantic text sent by Meghan to her mother, Doria Ragland. The message, sent just as the SUV sped away, was a death knell for the Sussex brand. He broke into the safe. He has the blue drive. He knows about the Soho house tapes. Mom, it's over. For years, Harry had been the ultimate shield. He had dismissed the darkest rumors regarding Meghan's time as a Soho House ambassador, the whispers of yachting, the allegations of illicit networking, and the claims of a calculated rise to power, as nothing more than tabloid trash and character assassination. He had fought his own blood, alienated his brother, and broken his father's heart to defend her honor. But at 3 a.m., that protective bubble didn't just leak. It shattered into a million jagged pieces. He didn't just hear a rumor tonight. He allegedly saw the undeniable digital proof. He fled without a change of clothes, without a phone charger, clutching only that metallic blue hard drive. In that moment of clarity, he realized the woman sleeping next to him wasn't a victim of the media, but the very source of the chaos that had consumed his life. As his plane disappears into the darkness, heading east toward London, the conversation is no longer about a potential divorce. It is a high-stakes race against time. If Harry reaches Windsor with that drive intact, the fairy tale doesn't just end, it collapses, and a true horror story begins. The timeline of this midnight run began exactly 3 hours before the wheels left the tarmac. While the children slept and Meghan was reportedly sequestered in the guest wing, ostensibly editing her latest lifestyle project, Harry was awake and searching. He had planned a solo trip to visit King Charles, but he couldn't find his passport, a document he realized he hadn't held personally since 2018. His search led him to the family vault, a biometric safe tucked away in the master closet. To his surprise, it was left slightly ajar. Inside, beneath a stack of documents, lay a metallic blue hard drive with a handwritten label in the distinctive script of Marcus Anderson, * Soho Archive 2015 to 2018. Do not delete. * confused and curious, Harry took the drive to his private study and plugged it in. What he found wasn't a family photo album. It was a clinical, corporate database. Inside a folder ominously titled Target Acquisition H, he clicked on a video timestamped June 2016, a full month before their supposed blind date. The footage revealed a cold, calculating Meghan in a Soho house boardroom, circling Harry's photo on a whiteboard with a marker. "He's the mark," she told Anderson with chilling composure. "He's desperate for a mother figure. We need to play up the Diana angle. Wear her perfume. If we hook him, the brand value is infinite." Harry watched in horror as his future wife practiced the surprise face she would later use during his proposal. "He's a wounded animal," she laughed, sipping wine. "I just need to be the vet. Once I nurse him, he'll never leave the cage." Harry didn't scream. He physically threw up. The romance of the century was, in reality, a long con. Before we dive deeper into the contents of that blue drive and the explosive Sandringham tapes that Harry discovered mid-flight, we have a quick request. This investigation into the hidden archives of the Sussexes is part of our commitment to bringing you the truth behind the palace walls. If you want to stay updated on every twist in this developing story, from the FBI's involvement in Montecito to the secret warrants being issued in London, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. We are tracking this story 24/7, and you won't want to miss the next update. Now, back to the high-altitude horror Harry was about to uncover. Realizing that if she discovered he had seen the contents of Folder C, he would never be allowed to leave that house, Harry shoved the drive into his pocket, bypassed his own security detail, and floored the Range Rover. He wasn't just fleeing a failing marriage, he was fleeing a crime scene. But back in Montecito, the silence wasn't broken by a call for help. Sources confirm Meghan didn't dial 911 or the local sheriff. Instead, she dialed a Toronto number, Marcus Anderson. Intercepted transcripts of that call reveal a masterclass in panic. "He has the archive," Meghan reportedly whispered, her voice tight as she paced the room.
"He has the blue drive.
"He knows about the audition tapes. Marcus, if he reaches William, we are uninsurable. We are finished." But Harry had finally learned the tradecraft of the people who had been managing him. Police would later recover a shattered iPhone 14 on the shoulder of the 101 freeway. Harry had tossed his tracking device out the window at 60 miles per hour, going completely dark. High above the Atlantic, inside the cramped cabin of the Cessna, the horror only deepened. Harry opened a folder titled The Sandringham Tapes. The file names made his blood run cold. William Kitchen Argument, Queen Private Summit, Jan 2020. He clicked play. Amidst the crackle of a hidden microphone, the late Queen's voice spoke softly. "I cannot give you half in, half out." Harry heard his own voice shouting, but the audio picked up a distinct, rhythmic rustle of fabric against the mic. It wasn't a bug in the wall. It was a wire on her person. Meghan had been wearing a recording device during the most sensitive family negotiations in history. He looked at the metadata. The file had been uploaded to a secure server linked to a major streaming giant just 3 days later. She hadn't just recorded his family. She had sold them. The Sandringham Summit wasn't a family negotiation. It was a content acquisition meeting. At 30,000 feet, the realization crushed him. He wasn't a husband, a partner, or a protector. He was the unwitting subject of a reality show, filmed without his consent for 6 years. Meghan knew the game was up, and she knew Harry now held the smoking gun of what could be considered treason against the crown. As dawn broke over the ocean, the Duchess initiated Plan B. She began drafting an email to major U.S. media outlets with a devastating subject line, Statement: The Duke's mental health breakdown. If she couldn't stop the plane, she would destroy the pilot's credibility before his boots touched British soil. The deeper Harry dug into the drive, the more his reality disintegrated. Ignoring the financial logs for a moment, he opened a folder titled Project Genesis, Medical. What he found there shattered his identity as a father. He read emails between Meghan and a high-end Hollywood special effects studio regarding prosthetic set B and silicone weight adjustment.